Bonjour tout le monde. You are in the right place if you are here for Chef Alain LeNôtre invites you to make lava cake. My name is Melissa Sora and I am with the Federation of Alliances Françaises. We have the largest network of Alliances Françaises chapters in the world, and we help 25,000 people learn French every year. We have a host of cultural events coming up that are free for all Alliances Françaises members and AATF members. Coming up in October, we'll be speaking with Sandra Smith about her translation of Irene Nemirovsky's work, Master of Souls. Then later in October, Chef LeNôtre is back to show us how to make a tarte nougat pomme. In November, we're going to have Joan Dijon come on to talk to us about America's French roots. And then we'll have, after that, an event about Proust. It'll be a live tour of a museum in Paris that has an exhibit with him right now. And then finally, in December, we'll be looking towards cakes with Alexandra Crapanzano, who will be interviewed by Alexander Lebrano. All information and sign-up pages are at afusa.org. And in terms of logistics, today's event will be a mixture of English and French. Please stay on mute during the presentation and stay on speaker view so that you get the best view. Put your questions into the chat. And if you have any technical issues, please just log in with the original Zoom link and that should let you right back in. For your information, the event today is being recorded and we will share it afterwards on our YouTube channel. And the total runtime today is 1 hour. It is my great honor to welcome Chef Alain LeNôtre. Alain is a third-generation chef of the famous LeNôtre family. He's a founder of the Culinary Institute LeNôtre in Houston, which is ranked #1 culinary art college in the US for 3 years in a row by niche.com. And in 2021, he contributed to the English translation and republishing of Faites votre pâtisserie comme le nôtre, which in English is called French Pastries and Desserts by LeNôtre. Bienvenue, Chef LeNôtre.
Bonsoir, les amis de la France. Heureux d'être avec vous.
I think we'll start with a few questions here. In the preface of your cookbook, you mention letting go of the baker's peel. Can you elaborate for us on that, what it means?
I like that question, Melissa, because that was in 1966. I was a young apprentice pastry cook. I was through with my apprenticeship already. I went through all the 8 stations in our lab behind the first retail bakery that my parents started in Rue d'Auteuil in 1958. And my father was at the center of the action. He was the oven handler, a strategic position where you control everything coming. You see if there is a defect, so you don't bake it. And you cannot make a mistake when you bake anything, because if it's overbaked, it's trash. So very important position. And very physical too, because very hot. There was 4 levels of 12 trays each, and some trays had to be double or triple. And it was colder in the front and warmer in the back. Each level had a different temperature. Very technical and physical at the same time. And one day my dad asked me to replace him. Wow, because the most important position in the lab. I will have to verify the quality and bake everything for more than 30 pastry chefs, some with more experience than me. So yeah, I accepted. I was trained in few days, high speed. And after a while, everything went fine. And my father told me, you know, when you replace me at the oven, actually à la pelle du four. That was when I'm holding la pelle du four, this, but with a much longer, 5-meter long handle. When you replace me at the pelle du four, at the pile, I started to make money. Wow. That was quite important statement. And he was right, because that I free them to take care of his beginning catering business and of all the requests he was receiving to open branches in the best area of Paris. And he finished by opening 14 of them. So yes, I helped my parents make money by liberating them of some part of the work. And it's a good memory.
Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Melissa, yeah, you're welcome.
Why did you decide to start a culinary school?
There is a how and there is a why. So the why will be another day. The how is interesting. I will start with the how. My father was just elected president of the Guild of the Paris pastry shop owner. That was something for someone who was unemployed in 1938 in Paris and had to work in Les Halles to load and unload trucks for little money, because nobody wanted to hire him, even so he was graded #1 in the exam in Normandy, apprenticeship exam. And here he is in 1958, president of the Guild of the Paris shop owner. But he was humble. He decided that he still had to learn things, that he was not at the top of his profession. And nobody ever told him that, even at that time. And especially in chocolate candy making, that he had learned during his apprenticeship in Bernay, in Normandy, which was a rare thing because chocolate at that time was very, very expensive. It was very few people could afford chocolate, except for Christmas and Easter. So he looked for, he was good with chocolate making, but he looked for a place where he could get retrained, improve his skill. He did not find one in France. There was not one. There was no school for continuing education for chef in France, for professional chef. Either you are a young apprentice, you go to a special Chamber of Commerce school 1 day a week, and the rest you learn sur le tas, comme on dit, or you have to find a school somewhere else. He was able to find a pastry school in Basel, which is Bâle, which is at the corner of France, Germany, and Belgium. Not Belgium, sorry, Switzerland. It's a different country. I don't know who said, who created Belgium and Switzerland. Could have make one with it. Anyway. So he found that school across the Rhine River. And all the chefs there were Alsatians, so they spoke good German and good French. So he registered to that school. The name was COBA, C-O-B-A. And in the chocolate department because they have different departments. And when he arrived, he registered under another name, but in few hours he was recognized, obviously, as Mr. LeNôtre. And he started his training. And he was very busy, Rue d'Auteuil, with his business. So he was very courageous. On on Sunday night, he was taking the night train, arriving in Basel early Monday morning, following the training 5 days, taking the night train back to Paris the following Friday to be ready to work in the shop for the Saturday, Sunday busy days, and so on like that, with no rest for more than 1 month. And he discovered everything that he had to learn. And several years later, he had a Swiss candy maker because what he learned, he had no time to use for himself. And I work with that Swiss guy, Mr. Whitmer. I remember this name. My German was correct at that time. So, and back to Paris, he called me to his office. He had, the office was a kitchen family table, by the way. He had 30 employees, but just in the back but and below, because we're the ground place. And said, Alain, that experience in Coba and Basel was fantastic. I want you to go there. It will do you a lot of good. Oh, I was very happy. It was like vacation for me because I did not have to take the train every week. So I arrived over there and I followed the training. And that was quite easy for me because he put me in pastry decoration. Well, I like that. It's the only thing I never learned with a chef teacher on the top of it. And because I spoke decent German, I befriended Mr. Perlia, who was only German speaking. And after 1 month there, he took me with him to a trip in Germany to assist him to visit a pastry show conference and displays, and it was great. And I was honored. On the way back from Munich to Basel in the train, he opened himself because he was not a man of many words. The Swiss are quite serious in their manners, especially at that level. He said, Alain, I have to share with you something confidential. I said, Mr. Perlia, I'm honored. What do you want to tell me? He said, in 6 months, I will close my school. Oh, I was shocked. I said, Mr. Perlia, you are the only school maybe in Europe. There is no school like yours in France either. Yes, but it's time for me to retire. Then my real estate is very valuable, and they may build a freeway there, and in 6 months I have to be gone. I asked him, are your chef instructor aware of that terrible news? He said, yes, I told them 2 days ago. I said, I asked him, do you authorize me to share that news with my father? He said, yes, sure, you can do that. Well, on the next day, I called my dad. I said, I shared the news with him that Coba will close. I was still under shock, and immediately came with the idea of hiring the staff, the COBA, move them to Paris and open our own LeNôtre culinary art school. At that time, we had enough square footage. We had just purchased 30 minutes west of Paris, an empty kitchen, and with a lot of land around. My dad said, yes, good idea. Let's do that. And we can build, we have enough room inside, but eventually we can build outside. So the next day I hired the chef instructors. They did not even negotiate the salary. We agreed only on the day of start. It was 6 months later, exactly when the COBA would close. And this is how the LeNôtre School started, the first chef continuing education school in France. And very famous. Now there are many of them, mostly from chefs from our school who started their own school later. But this is another story.
And what year was that the school started?
Yeah, I think it was 1969 or something like that.
And how many branches are there today around the world?
Oh, school, there is no branch. I am because I don't consider myself a branch, because I'm not part of LeNôtre France anymore. It's owned. It was owned by Accor, and Accor sold it since. So it still exists in Paris. They moved to Rungis, not in Plaisir anymore. No, we never built a franchise or a branch of that school department anywhere in the world. We had franchise, which is maybe your next question, I think so. But not the school, no, the school. It's the art of the matter, you know. We cannot. It's too important.
Yeah.
We keep it out.
You're right. That was the next question. Without ever having advertised, LeNôtre Paris has opened many franchises. How is this possible? I think you answered that, yeah, with chefs who trained, opening their own schools.
So the first franchise happened by almost an accident, a good accident. It was in 1970. It came from a department store called Kaufhaus des Westen in Berlin. Berlin était une île. Berlin was an island surrounded by the Iron Curtain with the communist regime. The French, the British, and the American were together inside, but around that was something else. But the Berliner had good spirit, and they rebuilt their city, and they wanted everything Western. And the owner of Kaufhaus des Westen called his cheese supplier in Les Halles de Rungis. Rungis is the largest food market in the world, next to Paris, the most beautiful one too, where I used to do purchasing. It's next to the freeways, the railroad, the airplanes of Orly. It's perfectly organized and clean. It's a place to visit if you go to Paris. Les Halles de Rungis. And he asked his cheese supplier, do you know a French caterer we can organize for me a French month in the 5th floor of my department store? And the cheese broker told him, "Oh, sure, there is only one. It's Gaston LeNôtre. It just opened a continuing education school, the first one in France." And he shared the contact. The German called me, and I arranged everything. And we delivered everything we could not manufacture on the site, and that was a great splash to have a LeNôtre bakery, pastry shop, candy, champagne, everything labeled LeNôtre, pastry on the 5th floor of Kaufhaus des Western on 1000 Strasse. That was such a success that the German owner asked us to prolong the experience. I said, "Can you stay another month?" That was quite difficult because most of everything was coming from Paris. We said, "Yes, but we have to start manufacturing at your place so we can train German people to do that, or receive them in our school in Paris, where everybody speaks German." They were happy about that. And so they decided, okay, what about a franchise? We did not even knew the name of franchise. So it was British, English name or American name. My dad said, "Yes, my son will take care of that." And I opened the first franchise in Berlin in 1970. And there was 5 departments on the 5th floor, and it's still a great success.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then a Japanese company, Seibu, the largest department store chain in Japan, came to Berlin because they learned about the success of that German department store, and they said, we want a franchise from you because you are so successful, and we want the same thing in Tokyo and all over Japan. The answer was easy. Don't call me, see Mr. LeNôtre in Paris. And we contracted a franchise in Japan, 14 retail bakery store, very upscale. The waiters were wearing tuxedos. I think that still exists.
Très chic.
And then we have a request from word of mouth, from Brazil, Rio, New York, Montreal, Quebec, Geneva in Switzerland, Epcot, Walt Disney, and Kuwait, with no advertisement. The request for a franchise came, and my father put me at the head of that. And that was fun. I learned a little bit. I had to visit many countries. Some still exist, some are not there anymore because I'm not in charge anymore.
They're all built on the wonderful reputation of the LeNôtre family. I think, Monsieur LeNôtre, Chef LeNôtre, we're going to show the video of the lava cake so that the audience can get the recipe, and then after that we'll have some questions and answers. If you have questions about the recipe, just feel free to put them in the chat. First, we're going to share a short video about the Culinary Institute.
At Culinary Institute LeNôtre,
we create a higher level of excellence.
Unstoppable potential.
We create innovation built on tradition.
Opportunity at every step.
We create environments for our students to succeed.
to live out their dreams.
Born of a legacy of excellence.
We are creating the culinary masters of tomorrow.
See what you create.
at Culinary Institute LeNôtre.
I joined LeNôtre so I can perfection some techniques and learn from the best.
It's really exciting to learn from chefs that give you every single ounce of knowledge that they have.
I've been doing this for a long time, just show them, the way it's going to be in the industry.
They truly care about each and every student.
He's going to hold me to his standard. That actually helped me later in life.
I love being able to come to school every day knowing that I'll be challenged in an actual kitchen environment.
I was able to gain so much knowledge, technique, and skill. It really helped me and helped me grow as a chef.
Quality training gets you excellent chefs.
Actually, a lot of my dreams have already come true, thanks to Culinary Institute LeNôtre.
The number one in America.
Non, c'est la vaquette maintenant.
Good afternoon, les amis de la France, de l'Alliance française de l'Amérique. Today we are going to do a delicious little chocolate cake, the chocolate lava cake, the favorite of my granddaughter Amélie from New York, and it's page 284. Before we start, I want to show you a picture of me again. In the past I was 6, and then 16, and now I'm 36. This is how Alain looked like when he arrived in the US to start a good business in the great city of Houston. That recipe will be for 8 people serving, and you will have, before we start, don't forget to preheat your oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You will need the following equipment: sheet pan, ramequin, sifter, 2 bowls, ice cream scoop, saucepan, hand whisk, spatula, and thermometer. Butter, sliced almonds, all-purpose flour, baking powder, dark chocolate, 70% cacao, chopped, butter diced, granulated sugar, and all eggs. Here I have my induction stove with water starting to boil to do a bain-marie, a double boiler. So while it's warming, it's not boiling yet, I'm going to prepare the ramequin with the butter. The butter is semi-soft, and I coat the side and the bottom of the ramequin. Then I am adding in the ramequin a little bit of the sliced almonds. I move them inside the ramequin on the side, and my mise en place is finished. The second part of the recipe is to sift together the all-purpose flour and the baking powder. Next step is to melt in the double boiler, the bain-marie, the chocolate in that bowl. But first, be careful to verify carefully that there is no trace of, not even a drop of water in it. The best way is to also whip it. Why? Any idea? Simply because some water in the chocolate would render the chocolate granulated, and then it's not creamy anymore, you cannot add the other ingredient. You have to start from the beginning. So be careful with the water, the enemy of the chocolate. The chocolate is melting nicely. You see how it's turning creamy. It has to be totally melted before I can add my butter. Let's verify the temperature. I should have 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees centigrade. And now it's right to receive the butter. Now we are going to prepare the butter by adding the butter, the sugar, the eggs, and the flour. It goes faster with you have the help of a nice assistant like Lorraine, and at the temperature of 104 Fahrenheit, it should melt nicely and quickly. And now, Lorraine, the sugar, nice color, nice flavor, nice perfume. Pastry is an art of the senses. I appreciate every moment of it. The look, the texture, the smell. Lorraine, the eggs now. Maybe half of them, yeah. Half of them, you don't want to pour all the eggs at once. This way it stays smooth and even. It's easier to mix than putting all the eggs at once. The end of it, Lorraine, thank you very much. Now, the last step, the flour and the baking powder. Like when you do a crepe, you know, the crepe batter, you add the flour and granulated sugar or whatever in different steps. So it's put everything, no? Very good. You have a sense of the density before we pour all of that in the ramequin. Just incorporate it. You don't have to work it much. And this is the density of it. Look beautiful. So the ramequin, it's nice if you do a pattern. Take more time. Here are two different patterns. But when you remove it from the mold, it looks really cute. But we are going just to pour 3/4 of the mold. Like that. There is a little plus to please my granddaughter from New York. You can add a pistol of dark chocolate in the center, and that will just melt. That will add to the texture and the taste of your pastry. My tray of 8 cakes is ready to go to the oven, but before we bake it, one word on the chocolate. It's from República del Cacao in Ecuador, from Valrhona Selection, and delicious like it is also. Before baking, chill for 30 minutes your chocolate, and then bake the ramequin at 325 degrees for 10 minutes. Our chocolate lava cake are out of the oven, where they have been baking for 10 minutes at 325 Fahrenheit. They have been cooling on the table for 3 minutes, and now we are ready to unmold them. After cooling for 3 minutes, use a glove and unmold. Beautiful. Now you can serve them with raspberry coulis, page 51, or vanilla ice cream, or whipped cream. We are going to cut one, so you will see the look from. I will unmold the second one. Splendid. Look at that. How it looks like from inside. Let's look at this one. You see how runny is it inside? Very creamy. Ready to eat with raspberry puree or whipped cream at your taste. Enjoy. Bon appétit.
Merci, Chef LeNôtre. Those look absolutely delicious.
It is. And easy.
Well, you say that, but I've tried to make my own lava cakes before, and they were either too runny or too cooked in the center. So it seems like there's a delicate line and try to find the right time.
Okay. Who is asking that question? You, Melissa?
Me, that's me. Yeah, that was my own experience making lava cake.
Well, I see one reason could be that you are not weighting your ingredients. You go by ounces or cups or teaspoon.
Mm-hmm.
So no. Chefs use weight. Kilograms, grams, liters, weight, because you can not be approximate in good pastry. You need the correct proportion. Another reason could be because of your chocolate. Don't buy for that recipe chocolate chip or chocolate chunk that you find in supermarket. Take time to shop around for pastry chocolate. They come in this type of shape. We buy them from Ecuador, República Dominicana, 70%. And they are perfect for pastry. The chocolate chunk and the chips have some additive in it that are changing the recipe. Don't use them. Use coating chocolate or pastry chocolate.
Okay, those are good tips. A few people have put in the chat a request for the full list of ingredients, and we'll send out the full recipe tomorrow with our follow-up email. So you don't have to worry about that. We'll also add the link to the YouTube video. Catherine would like to know for how long you chill the ramekins before you bake them, Chef LeNôtre.
Oh, you don't preheat the ramekin. The ramekin actually have to be cold because they are coated with butter and with the almond sticking to it. They have to be cold.
And for how long do you need to chill them?
Oh, you cool them 10 minutes in the cooler.
When you shave them, you chill them for 30 minutes.
Maybe I don't understand correctly your question.
Oh, the question was for how long to chill the chocolate ramekins before you put them in the oven? How long do they go in the refrigerator for?
Oh, no, immediately.
For 10 minutes or 30 minutes?
No, you fill 3/4 of your ramekin, and you can bake them immediately.
Oh, okay.
I don't wait.
Okay, so you don't have to chill them. That's just an option.
No, you don't chill them.
Okay.
You put in the oven at room temperature.
Okay.
No, if you have to wait for a reason, leave them at room temperature
Okay.
until you are ready to bake them.
Okay.
It's
Any
an
other-
easy recipe.
Mhm.
It's flow as you go. You cannot make mistake.
You cannot make a mistake, perhaps. I know I can make mistakes.
By weight, not by ounce or cups or teaspoons.
Right. That's a very good tip. Does anybody have any other questions? Please put them in the chat. So you said, Chef LeNôtre, that you could accompany these lava cakes with a raspberry coulis or some whipped cream. What's your favorite accompaniment?
Raspberry, definitely. Raspberry, fresh raspberry with little sugar, but not too much. Because it's
powdered sugar? Do you sprinkle powdered sugar on the top?
Powdered sugar is for the look, you know, it's for to add a little bit of excitement.
Mm-hmm.
You sift the powdered sugar on the top of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't see any other questions. Oh, here we go. Here's another question. Tia is wondering, is another chocolate acceptable as long as it's 70% cocoa, like Belgian or Swiss chocolate? Would those work?
Well, yes, a 55% is acceptable.
Or any other chocolate is
55% and up.
Okay, as long as it's 55% or up.
Yeah.
Catherine would like to know, should you serve the cakes immediately or after letting them cool for a few minutes?
Oh yeah, it will burn your tongue if you you taste it immediately coming from the oven. No. Let it cool down a little. Resist.
And Chris,
don't burn yourself.
Right. And Chris
you can tell them, you can cool them totally, refrigerate them, and warm them again in the evening or another day.
Okay. All right. That's related to the question that Chris has just asked.
You don't have.
Chris wanted to know if you can make the cake batter ahead of time and bake them later that day.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Easy recipe. Yeah.
Okay, good. So it's very flexible.
Either another day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm even sure you can freeze it, but I never try. But my grandchildren will let me go to the freezer. My little Amélie from New York, she insists to do it herself, and she always knows when the temperature is fine. Sometimes we're surprised. Amélie, I'm sure you see me.
Tia has asked, I think we'll take another 2 or 3 questions, and then we have a special quiz for everybody today. Tia is asking, how deep are the cups for the batter? The cups are called ramekins, right? Can you use another kind of?
No, it has to be that recipe is designed for individual ramekin.
Is it a special size ramekin or all ramekins the same size?
I did not try it with a large ramekin, for example. It's individual. It's perfect for individual ramekin.
Okay. And are all ramekins the same size? Or is there a special size ramekin?
Plus, minus, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller.
Okay. And can you remind us the page that the raspberry coulis recipe is on in the book?
Yes, definitely. It's page 384, and the beautiful picture is on the 385.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, with that, I think we're going to start our special quiz that we have for everyone today.
Yeah, exciting.
Exciting.
It's the first.
It's the first time we're doing this. It's
We will do it every time, right, Melissa?
Yep, patisserie quiz. So we have
We want many winners.
We want many winners, right? So we will show you a photo of a French patisserie. There will be 3 questions to answer about each patisserie. If you are the first person to correctly answer all 3 questions regarding that photo by putting all 3 of your responses in the same chat comment box, then you'll win a signed copy of French Pastries and Desserts by LeNôtre. So,
we do that. Let's reward the first 2, not just the first one.
Well, we'll show 1 photo at a time, and there are a total of 3 photos. So there are 3 chances to win. Okay, so we'll.
No, 6 chances.
6 chances.
I will reward the first 2 to answer close to correct.
First 2. Okay, wonderful.
Special for today, because it's the first time that we go with your idea of Jeopardy. It's called Jeopardy.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, here we will proceed to the first quiz question. Question number 1. What is the name of this dessert? What is the origin of this dessert? And what is it made of? Please make sure to put your 3 answers in the same chat box, the same chat response. Again, what is the name of this dessert? What is the origin of this dessert? And what is it made of? We'll give you another few seconds.
We have 1. And we have 2. We have 2.
Okay.
So we have 2.
Okay, looking at the responses. I see Alan has answered Linzer Torte, Austria, and raspberry and almond. And Tia has said Linzer Torte, raspberries, Austria. Chris says tart, Switzerland, raspberry. So were the first 2 correct? Were Alan and Tia correct? Yes. Chef LeNôtre?
The first 2 are correct because it's from the city of Linz in Austria, Linz.
Aha.
But both forgot to say that it's made with cinnamon almond powder dough. But it's okay because it's just the first time. We'll wave that. we'll wait that. Austria and raspberry jam is enough for today.
Okay, wonderful. Well, congratulations to Alan and to Tia. Let me just quickly share the answer here so everyone can see. Yep, the Linzer tart, named after the city of Linz in Austria. And like you say, Chef LeNôtre, there's also some cinnamon almond powder in there.
Yeah.
Okay, is everybody ready for number 2? Here we go. Question 2. What is the name of this dessert? What is the origin of this dessert? And what is it made of? Okay, another few seconds. Do we have any answers in the chat yet? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Is that Catherine says Marie Antoinette, ladyfingers, strawberries and strawberry coulis. And Julie says Charlotte à la fraise, nom d'une reine et boudoir et fraise. Chris says Charlotte, French strawberry.
So this is right.
So what's the official ruling?
I think number 2 is the closest. Can you repeat the answer of number 2?
Charlotte à la fraise, nom d'une reine, boudoir et fraise. The first response was Marie Antoinette, ladyfingers, strawberry and strawberry coulis. But that's only response to 2 of the questions. Chris said Charlotte, France, strawberry. Tia said Charlotte Ruiz, ladyfingers and strawberries. Teresa said Charlotte Fraise, ladyfingers and named after a queen.
I don't think the queen have been wearing nightcap, but maybe. I don't. From my source, it's not after a queen.
Which 2 are the closest answers?
I think we have 3 winners there.
Really?
We cannot choose between the 3.
Is that Catherine, Julie?
They all say Charlotte, right?
They all say.
The 3 say Charlotte.
One says Marie Antoinette. Yeah.
No, not good.
So Julie.
Oh, she had no head. Could not wear a nightcap, bonnet. No, the 3 of them said Charlotte, correct?
Yeah, we have Julie said Charlotte. Let's see.
And they all said sponge
Teresa.
cake.
Okay. Here we have a Charlotte Malakoff, Russia and strawberries.
It's okay. It's good too. So Charlotte. The 3 say Charlotte. The 3 say biscuit cuillère. Sponge cake. Okay, we have 3 winners.
Okay. Let's share the answer. Charlotte, origin of the name derives from a nightcap or hat that was worn by women. It's made of sponge cake, ladyfingers, and is used to line a mold, which is then filled with a fruit puree or custard. Okay.
Close enough. 3 winners. I'm happy for the first day. Next month, I may be more severe.
So that was Catherine, Julie, et Teresa. Is that right?
Bravo.
Okay. Bravo. Let's move on to number 3.
This one is a difficult one.
Last dessert. What's the name of this dessert? What is its origin and what is it made of? Okay, another 10 seconds. These are lovely photos from the cookbook.
Suspense.
Okay. Okay. We have poire basque eggs, poire belle Hélène, poire armagnac, Normandy, armagnac and pears, pear clafoutis, tarte with pears from France, poire belle Hélène with poached pears, île flottante with crème pâtissière.
No. It's not poire belle Hélène.
Not
No.
poire belle Hélène.
No, it's not an île flottante.
A tarte with pears from France or pear clafoutis.
It's close to pear clafoutis, but it's not the name of it.
Mm. Okay. Or tarte bourdelou. Michel says tarte bourdelou.
Bravo, Michel. Tarte bourdaloue.
Let's share the answer here.
Spear, obviously. Yeah.
The tarte bourdelou au poire.
Yeah, avec les poires, bien sûr.
So this was invented by a pastry chef
But-
in Paris's Rue Bourdelou.
Yes.
Okay, it has pear and vanilla frangipane.
Yes, for the batter, it's baked in frangipane batter.
Hmm.
So we have one sure winner. Now we have to find a second one. There's somebody else speak about pear tart. The pear tart, maybe it's the second winner. It's close enough for today, because we are generous today. It's the first time. Melissa, you came with that idea, right, of Jeopardy. Congratulations.
Oh, well, it spices up the event, that's for sure. And it's very generous of you to give out all these cookbooks.
You're welcome.
Okay, so this last one we had, that was Michel who got Bourdaloue. And
He's a winner, yeah.
yeah, and Chris M, we've noted you for the second question as a book winner. And we had, who else?
The tart with a pear. Yeah.
Tarte pear France, that was Chris M as well. Yeah, bravo. Ben, bravo tout le monde. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my email address here in the chat. So if I don't email you about your book, please send me an email with your name and address. But normally I should have your contact details from the registration page for the event. But just in case, please be sure to send me an email. I've just put it here in the chat. I'm Melissa, and federation@afusa.org is my email address. And then Chef LeNôtre will sign your books and get them out to you. Chef LeNôtre, this has been a super event. Thank you so much for sharing your recipes and your anecdotes and your cookbooks. We can't wait to have you back next month.
Et l'appel du four.
Et l'appel du four. Merci beaucoup. Merci à tout le monde. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And we hope to see you soon at another event.
Bonne semaine.
Yes, and all these desserts are in the cookbook. All the recipes are in the cookbook. Merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée.
Au revoir, Melissa.
Au revoir. Au revoir, Chef LeNôtre.